And hi, everybody, and welcome to our Saturday morning get-together called Good Day Arlington, live on NBC Sports Chicago. I'm Howard Sudberry. Of course, this is Alyssa Ali, my broadcast partner, and we are ready to roll with post time today at 1:29, live races at Arlington, and a big show today.
We're looking forward to it. Absolutely. Mother's Day coming up tomorrow as well. A tradition for a lot of folks here in Chicagoland. So a big weekend ahead at Arlington. It was a big weekend last weekend as well.
It was a big weekend, definitely. Yeah, as far as Mother's Day go, we're going to pay tribute to our moms for Mother's Day tomorrow. And we have a special mom here today. A mother of an Olympic gold medalist is going to be here. And next section, very excited to talk to Mike Smith, who rode Justified to the win in the Kentucky Derby last week, Alyssa. And to me, that was an amazing story in itself. It's historic, the 144th running. But a woman in Texas, Austin, Texas, won $1.2 million on the Derby on an $18 bet.
Amazing.
Can you imagine that?
Amazing. Margaret Reed, pick 5. You know, I would say normally be like, oh, Margaret, you should come and take Howard's spot as our handicapper, but you're actually doing quite well this season, and maybe she should take mine. I mean, I'm going to be honest.
I'm kind of hot. And for those who don't know, a pick 5, you have to have 5 races in a row, all on one ticket. And the last part of that sequence was the Kentucky Derby. Yep. So when Justified crossed the wire, she won $1.2 million for $18.
An $18 investment.
You know, Warren Buffett has never done that well with his money, I don't think. So that was quite a story. Let's get back to the Derby right now. We're going to take a look at it. And Alyssa, I know your pick was Mendelssohn, which I had a lot of respect for. But as he broke out of the gate, you can see on the arrow, he was absolutely ping-ponged and was smashed and was knocked to the back of the pack and had absolutely no chance at this point with 20 horses coming out of the gate, Alyssa.
No, I mean, you saw that. You said ping pong. Literally, the horse looked like a ping pong ball being back and forth between horses. I mean, how do you expect a horse to really recover from that out of the gate? Also, we should, make note, look at the track there. It was horribly off. Huge amount of rain go through Louisville, Kentucky that day. 5 out of the 6 last Kentucky Derbies have had rain on Derby Day. So I think we got to start maybe handicapping a little bit differently. But I felt pretty bad for Mendelssohn. I really liked the horse going into the race as the weeks leading up. He just had no shot after that.
Well, he's a turf horse. I think maybe we'll see him here on Million Day in the Secretariat Stakes.
That would be
on
great.
The lead at this point, as we expected, was Promises Fulfilled, but right in perfect position. You see the orange saddlecloth, and that is Justify and Mike Smith just sitting out there running very easily at this point and went to the lead. They were going pretty fast at this point. I was wondering what was going to happen down the stretch, but I think Mike Smith knew that he had all kinds of horses, and he was in an absolutely perfect position.
It's going to be interesting to talk to Mike. Again, we will be talking to Mike after our first commercial break here on Good Day Arlington to kind of hear what his thoughts were, coming around the turn again, the 144th running of the Kentucky Derby. Justify had only raced 3 times, only raced at Santa Anita, had never raced as a 2-year-old either, broke the so-called Apollo curse. I mean, it was an impressive performance by both horse and jockey.
And at this point, I think that we knew the race was over. We'll see what Mike says to have to say about that. That is Good Magic on the outside, who put in a good run, looked for a split second like he might have a chance, but Mike Smith going to work with that left-handed whip, and he had a lot in the tank with Justify. And then coming up the rail was my pick, Audible, who came from way back out of it. It looks like the 3 best horses finished 1, 2, 3, and Justify goes under the wire as the winner of the 144th Kentucky Derby. A nice ride by Mike Smith and a horse that seems to have limitless potential, I would say, Alyssa.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm really looking forward to hearing from Mike himself.
All right, Mike, we'll be up in our next section, but right now let's talk some sports. And right now, all eyes in Chicago are on baseball between the Cubs and the Sox series. The Cubs are where the White Sox want to be in a couple of years as they begin to rebuild, and it kind of played out that way yesterday with it's all going the Cubs' way. Let's get an ESPN 1000 Sports Center update from Fred Hubner.
Game 1 of the City Series went really well. For the north side, Wilson Contreras belted 2 home runs, including a grand slam in the first inning, and drove in 7 as the Cubs made easy work of the White Sox 11-2. Carson Fulmer not lasting 2 innings for the Sox, while the Cubs' Tyler Chatwood survived 5 for the win. Chris Bryant went 2 for 3 with his 7th home run of the season, reaching base 5 times. Game 2 of the series this afternoon at 1:20, James Shields against John Lester. NBA playoffs took the night off while the Capitals beat the Lightning 4-2 in Game 1 of the NHL Eastern Conference Finals. In golf, Webb Simpson tied a course record with a 9-under 63 yesterday at TPC Sawgrass, has a 5-shot lead entering the third round of the Players' Championship. And in soccer, the Chicago Fire head to Columbus to face the Crew tonight at 6:30. From the ESPN 1000 Sports Desk, I'm Fred Hupner.
All right, Freddie, thanks a lot. Alyssa, not a great day outside, but that's why we have a big roof at Arlington.
Yeah, you can still enjoy the races for sure. Come on out to Arlington here. Our gates open at noon. But Howard, tomorrow, Mother's Day, the weather much better. We're looking forward to spending Mother's Day with all of you moms out there here at Arlington. But we do want to know, get to social right now and get on Twitter if you don't mind, and let us know what your Mother's Day traditions are here at Arlington, how they've really become a tradition in your family. You can tweet us at Arlington_Park. We also have an enter to win on arlingtonpark.com/GDA.
And I've talked to so many families that have come out here, and they have come for Mother's Day week after week, year after year after year after year. It is a tradition.
It absolutely is. And I mean, I've been here for quite some time, my mom as well, so a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it.
And it continues tomorrow. We're going to take a break right now. Coming up next, a real treat as we visit with the jockey that won the Kentucky Derby last week, and that is Mike Smith. Good Day Arlington, brought to you in part by Tito's Handmade Vodka, the preferred vodka of Arlington International. Bring Mom out for a Tito's Bloody Mary tomorrow. Mike Smith coming up next on Good Day Arlington.
Royalty. Take your Triple Crown game up a notch and purchase a VIP ticket for an all-inclusive red carpet experience at Arlington International Racecourse for the 2018 Triple Crown races. Preakness Stakes Day, May 19th. Belmont Stakes Day, June 9th. Watch and wager at Arlington.
You know, I just need to stay cool and calm and get him out of the gate and get him in the right spot, get him in a good rhythm. And I knew he was because he was capable of doing this. I'm more relieved right now, really, more than anything. I think later on I'll start getting excited as the days go on and it'll start hitting me more then. But really, you know, with a horse this talented, I just needed to do my job. And once I did that, so you're just very humbled and very relieved right now.
And welcome back to Good Day Arlington on NBC Sports Chicago. Happy you're tuned in this morning. We're on every Saturday morning from 11 to 11:30. Howard Sudberry and Alyssa Ali. We just saw Mike Smith there a second ago, and we have him on the phone right now. So let's welcome in the winner of the 2018 Kentucky Derby, Mike Smith. Mike, thanks for joining us this morning. And you talked about it would hit you later on. Has it hit you yet?
Yes, it certainly has. The next day, actually, flying home, I don't think I needed a plane. I could have just jumped out and flew the rest of the way on my own.
Yeah, Mike, tell me, when you get into the 2-year-old season and you start getting on good horses, and then they turn 3, I mean, is the Kentucky Derby your number one goal of the year? Does it make your year when you win it?
Oh, without a doubt. But I also think it's kind of everyone's goal with babies. I mean, everyone's kind of wanting to see if they got maybe the next Derby horse, you know. So it's an exciting time, although the Derby is ran, but all the babies are starting to run. I actually rode a 2-year-old yesterday. So very happy that I was blessed to win the Derby and excited about the new ones coming up.
Text me the name of the 2-year-old. I'm going to make a future bet, okay?
Yeah.
We'll see if we can cash in. How confident were you going into the race? He was inexperienced, but you knew he was very talented.
Well, we certainly knew that he had the ability to do something like this, you know, to pull this off and to break the Apollo curse. But in saying that, he was very lightly raced. None of them had been a mile and a quarter. The weather was not cooperating very well. So, I mean, there was certainly concerns, but I felt that if I was able to get him into a really good spot early on, running underneath the wire the first time, that he would perform and he would
at least run a very reputable race. Where that was going to put us, I didn't know. Of course, you don't know until you run at the Derby, man. It's an extremely tough race to win. But after we left the gate in really good order, I was really confident that he was going to run well. Although we were going fast, he was doing it well within himself, and everyone seemed to be gathered right behind him and right next to him. So it wasn't like he was just out there on his own going that fast. I mean, the contenders were all right there with him. So we were all kind of going pretty quick.
Mike, you talked about the rain, you talked about braking well. When you were getting into the gate, were you changing, your technique in any way, or at least thinking about how you would change your technique? Obviously, it's just about braking well with that, 20-horse field, but the rain has been kind of an issue in Louisville the past 5 out of 6 years. What were you thinking when you broke out of the gate?
Well, it just when we were in the gate, it was just make sure he's standing well. I had a really good gate man with me, and he really kept him good and square, and make sure he's just standing well. And of course, he's got to react the first jump, and then it was my job to react afterwards. So once he jumped well, I really got behind him and shoved him out of there. A good 4 or 5 jumps just to get him going. And after we did that, man, he was in such a great spot. And although we were going quick, again, he was going well within himself, and I was very happy at that point.
Yeah, you were going fast. The fractions were very fast. You said he was well within himself. Were you worried at all that he might run out of gas and the closers might get you?
He was doing it so nice. I was actually kind of getting in his way a little bit, trying to slow him down, but I had both the oar right to my outside, putting pressure on me, so I wasn't able to slow him down too much. I think he would have actually relaxed off of me if I didn't have the pressure to the outside, but it was there, and they were right inside of me and right behind me. So he was on the bridle and wanting to be up there, but he was also I look over at both sides and look at both horses who were kind of next to me, and they seemed to be really having to really try to keep up with his stride, and he was happy doing it. So I thought, well, we'll just see what happens down the road. I couldn't worry about it too much at that point, because all I was going to do is get in his way if I tried to do anything different.
Well, it ended up beautifully, Mike. I have to ask, what did you do to celebrate? You won the Kentucky Derby. I know you rode the next day, so it probably won't be that exciting of a story, but what did you do?
We went to Jeff Ruby's.
Yes.
We went to go have a wonderful steak and hang out and listen to the entertainment for a little bit. We had a very, very early flight. By the time we got to Jeff's and had dinner, it was already 1 in the morning. So I basically just went back to the hotel, packed, and headed on over to the airport.
Hey, Mike, you're still a young guy at 52, and you're in better shape. That's because I'm older than that. You're in better shape than guys that ride that are half your age. Do you stay in shape by working out, or do you have a real hard workout routine, or is it from riding?
Well, I don't ride near as much as I used to. In the past, so I have to train a whole lot more. So it's working out. Matter of fact, as soon as we get off the phone, I'm heading to the gym right now. But it's just something that I picked up at an early age, and I'm so happy that I did. If I did anything right, I keep saying this all the time in all my interviews, but it really was making physical fitness just a way of life, where I do it every day. Now in these later years, man, it's really paying off. I mean, my body's in great shape. As long as I can stay healthy, injury-wise, I see no reason I can't keep going for another few years anyway.
One last thing, Mike, early in your career, you rode regularly here at Arlington. What are your memories, and what do you think of Arlington?
Oh, some of the greatest memories. There's still a race there that's on my bucket list, man, that I got to win. The Arlington Million was always something that I dreamt of winning. I've run second once, I know, maybe twice, but I haven't. That's one big race that I haven't been able to win so far. So that's on my bucket list. I'm not stopping until I get that a few more tries.
Well, it's August 11th this year, and we hope you get the right mount.
Birthday, that would be a great
all right.
Well, if you win it, we'll make sure we would get you a steak. Although you should buy it if you win, you're going to make all that money. But
Sure, why not?
I hope you're here. You're always gracious with your time. Great ambassador to the sport. And Alyssa and I thank you both very much. And good luck in the Preakness.
Yeah, good luck, Mike.
Thank you, guys. Thanks for having me on.
All right, Mike Smith, the winner of the 2018 Kentucky Derby. And this portion of Good Day Arlington is brought to you by the Daily Herald. Remember when the family packed up the car and headed to the drive-in to see a movie? The Daily Herald film critic looks back at the iconic American pastime in Sunday's Time Out section. And next, Good Day Arlington celebrates moms everywhere for Mother's Day. And we're going to have the mother of a local woman who helped Team USA win the women's gold medal in this year's Olympics.
I told her before the game, I'm like, if you guys win gold, I am finding a way to get on that ice. And she's like, okay, good luck with that. So I led the charge on the ice. Obviously, her Olympics were insane.
So we won, we were going crazy.
Everyone was just jumping up and down.
And we received our medals. We were all just taking pictures, waving to our families. And I saw him standing there and he's waving.
People were yelling, just go for the ice, go on the ice. I'm like, I don't know if I could do that. I mean, I'm kind of a big guy.
I see him jump over onto like the ice level.
Literally right behind me, there was like 30 other family members falling right behind me. There's a picture of me picking her up and holding her up in the air and we're both just like, yeah.
The second he got on the ice, I was just ecstatic.
That is amazing. Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to Good Day Arlington. Howard and Alyssa, joined right now by Lise Coyne, whose daughter Kendall won the gold medal with the U.S. Olympic women's hockey team. Congratulations to you. And as a parent, I mean, we get proud when our kid gets a hit in T-ball or whatever. What was it like watching that game? Nerve-wracking? Just describe your emotions.
Well, I actually sat by myself. The seats that USA Hockey gives us, it's along the side, so you can't see the whole, anything that happens along the boards. Kendall's small and fast, so she tends to get hit, even though there's no hitting in women's hockey or youth hockey. So I always got used to sitting, if you will have it, in the end zone. So I sat all by myself the entire game above the Canadian goalie, and all Canadians filed in. So it was a very unique situation because they were all cheering and screaming in my ear, and I had to be classy and keep my mouth shut until we won, and I just ran over all of them. Knocked their pop, their beer, their everything over.
That's the way you do it. Does it still feel like a dream?
No, because she works so hard. She's worked every day since she was a little girl, and that's on her own. We always told her, if you don't want to play anymore, you don't do it. And she did it for her. She loved it. So the disappointment in Sochi, how we lost, I just thought they were going to do it this time. Right. So it's maybe it hasn't sunk in. I'm not sure.
Tell us about, you're talking about Kendall playing when she was younger, but why hockey? How did you guys get into hockey? And what was your schedule like? Again, it's Mother's Day weekend. We're really honoring you as well, just, getting Kendall to this point.
Well, it was her older brother who's sitting over there. He played, and I put her in figure skates. She lasted, I don't know, maybe a couple hours. And she was this little tiny girl, and she looked up at me, and she said, "This is boring. I need the sport." I'm like, okay. So hockey skates, and she never turned back.
Wow.
And what did you ask me again?
Just like how busy were you too? Like, well, I know obviously getting to this point.
All 4 of them played hockey, and so I was usually, can you take that one to Buffalo? Can I go to Toronto with this one? This one's going to Detroit, and somebody else has this one.
Wow.
So I had so many miles on my cars.
I'm sure you did.
We forget what we ask sometimes too, so.
I'm most afraid of
Don't worry about that. I forgot what I was going to ask next. No, when she was a child, then she had to play against the boys all the time. There weren't all girls teams, were there?
Yes, she played with the boys, and the one club, I remember she was playing with the boys, and the owner called me and said, "Oh, we're going to have a girls' teams now." And I said, "Oh." He said, "Well, doesn't that make you happy?" I said, "No, she's not going to play with the girls. She wants to play with the boys." So the deal was she got to practice with the boys, and then she would go over and practice with the girls. Because she always said girls hockey has come, tenfold. But the boys she practiced with, honest to gosh, I bet you 60% are in the NHL or playing pro right now.
Wow.
So she was pushed beyond her limit, and they were always better than her, so she always wanted to play and practice with people better.
What was the moment like when you first saw her after the game?
Well, it was funny because, like I said, I was sitting by myself.
Yeah.
So I had to run all the way around the rink, and I did it pretty quickly for an old lady, I'll tell you. And I ran straight down to the glass, and that's when I first saw her. She was on the ice and I was in the glass. I just couldn't stop crying because I don't know if you knew, but before the World Championships, the girls boycotted USA Hockey for some negotiation for better terms for women. So that was they went through so much to win this, and she was just so happy. And as a parent, you just live to see your child that happy. So she kept saying, "Stop crying." I said, "I can't." I was just so happy.
What was your experience like in South Korea with your husband, your kids? Obviously, Kendall working very hard. Was it fun?
It really was amazing. The South Korean people are very, very kind, generous, nice people. And I fell in love with my son-in-law to be because he lived in a little Airbnb with us for 16 days.
Whoa!
So
passed the test.
We passed it. I'm pretty impressed. But it was wonderful. It was just it should be a bucket list idea for anybody to go to a Winter Olympics. We saw Shaun White, we saw the Shabani twins, we saw I say it wrong. So much.
That's amazing.
Well, Lise, happy Mother's Day tomorrow. Thank you for coming in. You're no stranger to Arlington. You were a mutual clerk here at one time.
I was.
Right?
I was a mutual clerk in Chicago. My grandfather owned horses for years. Goes back a long time.
So you're right at home, and you're home, and you're welcome here anytime. So thanks for coming in, and give our best to Kendall.
Thank you very much for having me. It's an honor. Thank you.
Happy Mother's Day,
Thank you very much.
We'll celebrate that here tomorrow. We're going to take a break right now. Good Day Arlington is proud to have International Hair Designs as the official hair and makeup artist for Good Day Arlington. They're a full-service color salon in Lake Zurich. For more, visit internationalhairdesigns.com. And coming up next, more on our Mother's Day tradition at Arlington International Racecourse.
Miller Lite Party in the Park Fridays. At this after-work stop, good things come in threes. $3 Miller Lite, $3 food specials, and $3 vouchers. Get out of the office and into live bands, life-size yard games, and bag-out tournaments. Plus, jump into our pool party and Trifecta Takes Challenge every Friday for more ways to win. College students are free every Party in the Park Friday. Pure royalty. Take your Triple Crown game up a notch and purchase a VIP ticket for an all-inclusive red carpet experience at Arlington International Racecourse for the 2018 Triple Crown races. Preakness Stakes Day, May 19th. Belmont Stakes Day, June 9th. Watch and wager at Arlington.
Welcome back to Good Day Arlington on NBC Sports Chicago. We are here through September 22nd every Saturday morning, and we are live on this day that's not great, But as I said, we have a lot of places inside at Arlington, a big roof. Maybe it won't rain too hard, and we have 9 live races today. Alyssa?
We do. We'll talk about our featured race in a second, but at the top of the show, we did ask to hear about your Mother's Day traditions here at Arlington, and we do have some tweets we, of course, want to show. We had Tom say, at Arlington Park, my favorite Mother's Day tradition is entering through the gates and seeing my mom light up when the jockeys give her a rose. That's honestly one of the best parts, really, of when the moms come in. They're greeted by jockeys, getting a red rose. We love, love, love all of the moms joining us again tomorrow, Mother's Day. And this is actually my Mother's Day tradition. For more years than I can count, both of my mom's kids were working at the track, and her husband were training horses at the track, so she was at home. And I want to say poor mom, but I think maybe she likes it a little bit, you know? When we were younger, get the kids out of the house, the husband out of the house, maybe.
I think so. That's probably
She's always
true.
watching Good Day Arlington, so we'll definitely ask her.
If I may, I want to tell a quick story. My mom passed away in 2012, but she used to come to the Arlington Million with me working here, and she used to love to go up into the turf club and visit with Mr. D because they both grew up near each other on the south side, so she thought that was so cool.
That's amazing.
So that was a neat memory.
That was her tradition.
Yes, it was.
Well, Howard, let's talk a little bit about today's races, though. Again, tomorrow, Mother's Day at Arlington. Make sure to join us. We have 8 races on tomorrow's card, but today, 9 races. First race off at 1:20, featured race, the Grade 3 Haunchen Cup. We're doing a Sudbury versus Ali this race. I really need to catch up, or Margaret Reed is going to be taking my job. So we're going to figure this out. Who'd you land on?
I took the number 9, Master Marion. This is a really talented field for our first graded stakes race of the year. Ghost Hunter is back, ran last year. Ran in the Arlington Million, actually, last year, and he only got beat 4 lengths. He's going to be very tough in here, but my pick is Master Marion. Never has run on the poly track before, but he ran off 4 straight wins on the turf last year. He's trained by a top trainer, Wesley Ward, and I think with the right trip and likes the surface, that he's going to run a very, very big race.
All right, well, you talked about Ghost Hunter. That's who my pick is. Adding blinkers here today, was second in last year's Haunchen Cup as well, and making his second start off of the layoff. So number 1, Ghost Hunter for me. But again, a big weekend ahead of us here. We have Mother's Day tomorrow, but next weekend, Howard, a big week. It's really a big weekend all the time. You're just going to hear us say that over and over. But the Preakness Stakes will be run on Saturday, May 19th. You can watch and wager here at Arlington. The Preakness Party VIP ticket, the best way to go.
It definitely is. We have a big Preakness party out here at Arlington. This is the time of the year, obviously, when horse racing is in the spotlight. Now, we run all year here at Arlington, building up to the Arlington Million, but the Preakness and the Triple Crown, nothing quite like it. We'll see if Justify can make it 2 for 2.
We're looking forward to it. Well, let's check in with John G. Dooley now for a sneak peek at next week.
Coming up next week on Good Day Arlington, Howard and Alyssa discuss the second leg of the Triple Crown, the Preakness Stakes, with former MLB player and current TVG host Paul LaDuca. That's next week on Good Day Arlington.